Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We have a special treat today. The Mandalorian and the Child have arrived. That's right, Djarin and Grogu, operative expansion for Star Wars Legion. It's here. This is a mercenary unit that can be played by both the Imperials and the Rebels. I'm not going to go through all this right now, but we're going to open it up and see what is inside. Box right here. I'm excited for this. I really like the mercenary units that are a little flexible. I like that he's usable by the Imperials and the Rebels because he was working for the Imperial Remnant at the beginning of the show and then he kind of turned against them. Okay, we get a couple bases right there. But let's start off with the instruction guide. Read this first. Yeah, right. I'll look at it. Get a nice poster of Djarin and Grogu. That's pretty cool. Need to find a way to like put those up on a big board and kind of make that a backdrop or something. All right, so we're gonna see here we get a single sprue, and it's got Djarin. I think we've got actually two options for Grogu here. One is with the frog in his mouth, which is shown there on the box. Yeah, every picture on the box just shows that. But the other one is, it's just him, I think, holding his hand out, kind of like that. That's probably the pose I'm going to do, just with his normal mouth. And then for Djarin, it looks like we have, there's his helmet. You get the cape, legs, chest, and maybe just one pose. Looks like he got his big rifle put on his back. Kind of like that. I was hoping we'd have a pose with the rifle in his hands, but it looks like it's just going to be with the pistol. Let's look at the tokens, then we'll take a look at the cards. But I'm really excited to see what he's all about. I haven't played with many bounty hunters before, because I'm primarily a rebel player, so having a rebel-capable bounty hunter is a big deal for me. Alright, so we're going to get a command dial for Mercenary plus Imperial and Rebel right there, and a couple extra tokens to account for the additional things he has, and then a little Grogu token. We'll see what that's all about here in a minute. So we're gonna start with let's start with the unit cards. So Djarin, here he is. He cost 105 initially, 5 health, 3 courage, but he does have surge to crit and then surge to defense. He comes with this IB-94 pistol, which is a 2 range, 2 red, and a black die. Lethal, long shot, and versatile, so that's pretty nice. But then you can also use his vibro knife to do some damage if he gets melee. Red defense die, so that's good. He's got that Beskar armor right there. Arsenal 2, so when he attacks, each unit, each mini in the unit, which is just him, can use up to 2 of his weapons. So he could just use his pistol and an additional weapon that we'll see in the upgrades. He's got bounty, so you're going to stick that on a commander or an operative. That's going to be his target. If they get eliminated, you get an extra victory point. Impervious, if the attack roll has pierce, you roll that many extra defense die, just like Sabine and the other Mandalorians. He's got independent aim and dodge, so at the start of the activation, if he doesn't have an order token, he gains an aim and a dodge. Plus he has tactical one there. Pretty nice. And then you can see on the back, you got a description for some of the keywords. Lethal, basically you spin an aim token to get Pierce 1. He's got long shot, he can spin an aim token to make his maximum range for his weapons go up by 1. And then he has versatile, he can do range attacks with the weapon while engaged. So basically, if he is in melee, he can use that vibro knife and use his pistol from a range of 0 from melee, which is pretty nice. So right there, he can attack with 2 reds and 3 blacks, which isn't bad. Not as good as a lightsaber, but it's pretty good. All right, and he's got a lot of slots here too. But first, we're going to look at Grogu, his counterpart. So he's a counterpart to Djarin. He's got 1 health. Hunted. So when Grogu is defeated, place the mini with the unclaimed asset token, which is this right here. He may never be restored, so he's an asset forever. Each trooper unit gains claim the asset. So basically at the end of the game, if an enemy unit has claimed the asset, they get a victory token. So he can be defeated and they can take him to get a victory token. Otherwise, assuming he's not dead yet, or he's not defeated, he has latent power. At the end of your activation, you can gain 1 suppression token and roll a red defense die. On a surge, choose an enemy at range 1 of the mini. That unit gets 2 suppression, 2 immobilized tokens, which are, well, we have those tokens there. On a blank roll, remove a wound or poison token from a friendly non-droid trooper at range 1. And he's small. So there's our 2 unit cards there. So Djarin can come with or without Grogu. You can see Grogu's got some ability where he can maybe suppress someone, or he could heal them. You don't really get a control. It's up to the die roll, but not too bad. Let's do the upgrades and then we'll do the command cards. So his Ambin rifle. I was always very excited as soon as Djarin was announced. I thought, what are they going to do with his rifle? How is that going to work mechanically in the game? And this is what we got here. By default, it has unlimited range. And, I'm sorry, no. Its melee is 3 black. And then it has a mobilize 2 and suppressive. So he can melee with the vibro knife in that pistol or the vibro knife and the Ambin rifle. But he also has, take 2 actions. So this is the big interesting thing here. If you aren't engaged, perform a speed 1 move, and then choose an enemy unit in line of sight. So no distance, just line of sight. Roll 1 red attack die. If it's a hit or crit, that chosen unit just straight up suffers a wound and gains a suppression token. That ignores, defensive rolls, armor, all that kind of stuff. So it takes the whole turn to use, but he basically focuses in and just does an instant damage. So kind of like when he attacks the Jawas in Season 1, he just disintegrates someone. You really can't do anything about it. There's no defense. But that does take his whole turn, so there's kind of an offset there. You could also put his Beskar Spear on him instead. You can only do one of these 2. So it's that rifle or the spear. So it's a melee, 2 reds and a black. You gain Duelist, and then you're immune to Pierce. So you can, both of them are melee. I think this one's more expensive, which is interesting. But you can see he's actually got quite a few melee weapons at his disposal here. Alright, also has his flame projector. You do have to get rid of this when you use it, but it's melee to range 1. It has blast, spray, so basically you add that red die once for each mini that is in the defending unit, and that isn't blocked, and this also gets suppressive. You get his jetpack, which is awesome. Basically, he increases his speed by 1, which it's normally 2, so that'll give him a speed of 3, and he gets jump 2. This puts him right in line with Sabine, the Mandalorian Resistance. So you just get those 4 upgrades with him. That's assuming, a lot of the expansions now, they just have the unit specific cards. They assume you already have like the Essentials kit or the upgrade card packs, which I like because it eliminates you having to buy maybe a unit you wouldn't normally want just to get that 1 or 2 cards that are in that pack that you want to use for your other units. So you'll see a bunch of. It'll be interesting to see like what people tend to use with him. I'd say up close and personal would probably work well, just like it was with the other Mandalorians. But let's take a look at his command cards real quick. Let's take a look at these last thing. His 1 pip is This Is the Way. Issues orders just to himself. He gains a dodge token and Relentless. So after you perform a move, you may perform a free attack action. So basically, you can move, attack. So that's pretty nice. I like those odds as his 2 pip. Also, issues orders just to him. He gains an aim token. After he performs an attack action, he can perform an additional attack against a different unit. So it's kind of like Gunslinger to a degree. But you get an aim token that lets you, get some of your boost from the other cards. His 3 pip is Whistling Birds. During his activation, Djarin gains, choose up to 3 enemy units at range 1 and in line of sight. For each chosen unit, roll 1 white attack die for each mini in that unit. Keep in mind, 3 enemy units, so if you're amongst a bunch of core troopers, you're going to be rolling potentially, 12 to 15 white die possibly more depending on what's going on. That unit suffers 1 wound for each crit, hit, and surge result. So that's pretty nice. I actually like that quite a bit. But then you also get a pip card for Grogu if he is with you. It's a 2-pip. So this card cannot be selected during the command phase, so it just stays in your hand. When a friendly unit at range 1 and in line of sight of Grogu is declared as a defender against a range attack, so most likely Djarin, but it could be someone else, you may discard this card from your hand. If you do, the defending unit gains 2 dodge tokens and gains deflect during this attack. So basically, this is representative of Grogu using the Force to defend those he's close to. Probably, like I said, going to happen with Djarin, but I think IG-11 can also have Grogu as a counterpart. But yeah, that's just a quick unboxing of what is in the Djarin and Grogu Operative expansion. I'm really excited to play with this. I think I'm going to put him first with probably Sabine and the Clan Ren, so I can just maximize the amount of Rebellion Mandalorians I can get. Kind of pretend they're one big clan fighting with, I don't know what commander, maybe Cassian. But he looks like a lot of fun. I'm so excited to finally have a bounty hunter for the Rebels. This made my day, and I know the older version of Boba Fett is coming out to be an operative that can be used as for the Rebels as well. So I like that versatility we're starting to get with them. So this is going to be awesome. I'm so pumped for this. Thank you, AMG, for making this / Fantasy Flight. I don't know who actually developed this character. Probably both of them. But until then, you guys go play some games.